We are live.
Hello, welcome to the Punk Rock Libertarians Podcast, episode 396. I'm Otto, and tonight I'm joined with Jared.
Hello.
And as always, the Russian malinformation bot.
Great to be with you.
So we're a little light tonight. I'm not light, but everyone, like the podcast is light.
Oh, wait a second.
We have some special guests. Oh, here we go. Wait,
kind of. Oh, there he is.
All right.
The MDM disseminator is
Inseminator.
He is live and ready to rock and roll. Peter, we thought the drone strike got you.
Now, is that for Miss, Dis, and Mal?
Exactly.
Miss
Right
Dis
on.
and Mal. MDM.
I like it.
Oh, great.
We need an A, though. We need an
We should
A.
have like a power trio. Just call it like Miss, Dis, and Mal. You know.
We need an A, though, so you could be the MDMA disseminator. That would be fun.
Yeah.
Miss,
That
Dis,
would be
and
hell of
Mal.
fun.
Or no?
Mal. Yeah, we just use the MA from Mal, right?
Yeah, why not?
You sound really faint.
Yeah, you are a little quiet. You're a little quiet
You got a
today,
little low,
Babs.
James.
Who? Me or
Yeah. It's like
Yeah,
you
you.
turn your mic volume down.
Yeah, so you don't have that booming Babs mic.
Yeah. Booming Babs mic. Booming Babs. That's,
So
that's
speaking of-
your nickname.
Speaking of
Booming-
malinformation, we've got a new governance board just dropped.
Yes. The
Oh,
Ministry of Truth is here.
Oh, finally! I've been so scared without it. Keep us
Was
safe.
it Bing Sock, whatever?
Yeah, what do you do when you see information? How do you determine if it's real or if it's Mal?
I don't know.
Now,
Why don't you tell
are
us?
they gonna bring back Ridge's color coding system for terror alerts? Remember that?
Yeah, like what level of misinformation?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she should
The
come out
color
with a
code.
daily, like, we're at code orange for misinformation. So everybody be careful out there, you know. Everybody
eye out for
report
Putin.
anything you see that you know that's not supporting our narrative. Please.
I
you
wonder
know,
if the Ghost
report
of
it.
Kiev will make that.
Holy shit.
Oh, you know what's funny? You know what's absolutely funny about that? So the media ran with the Ghost of Kiev for weeks. They ran with that stupid story.
They're
which
still
never
running
made
with it.
sense.
They're
Yeah.
still running
Well,
with it.
Well, now that they've pretty much, there was an article came out, I forget somewhere, about how it was constructed as propaganda, and everyone's going and like pretty much saying like, see, this was made up the whole time. There's something that I found, like, I knew this weeks ago, months ago, you know, it feels like at this point. And I clicked on the Twitter link and I saw all the blue check marks commenting, this was Snopes rated false. Like, this was already rated false. You're just like, you're late to the party. Like, we already determined this was false. I'm like, no. You all ran with that shit and your stupid Ukrainian flags and your like all that bullshit. Like, you ran with that. You got to own that. But see, they don't
remember
care.
it was
own it. They
also
just-
the FU to the Russian ship on that Snake Island.
Oh,
Snake
yeah.
Island rebels holding out against
Yeah.
ultimate tyranny. You know, like.
What was
Yeah,
that
they held out,
venue?
and then they all surrendered.
You tweeted
Cool.
out, Otto, you tweeted out, what was that venue in DC that had that first they came from
Oh,
Ukraine?
The anthem. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I've never
All
been there,
right,
but
find that meme. Or find that, find that Twitter.
I'll find the.
I'll see if I
Yeah,
can find it. But yeah, it was so cringe. I could not I could believe it. Like, because at first this place called the Anthem. It's in DC. I've never been. I wanted to go. I think Judas Priest was playing there a while ago, and I wanted to go to it, but I just never made it out. Well, then of course COVID hits.
Is it an outdoor venue or what's?
I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure at all.
No, I think it's indoor. I think I might have been there for something.
I don't know. It's in DC and it's kind of like in my wheelhouse. So here it goes.
I think I found it here. I'll put it in the chat.
Put it in the chat because I want the audience to see this. And
Yeah.
we can all cringe together.
Let's all cringe together.
It's pretty bad.
It's so bad. Yeah, here we go.
1 second.
Yeah.
Get this
Band
up
in
for
DC.
everybody.
What was this, yesterday or today?
I think it was yesterday. It was over the weekend.
Oh,
We
yeah.
were talking about it because and I gotta find it too. We were talking
Here's the
during.
tweet.
Oh yeah.
Zoom in on that picture.
Yeah, let me
So-
get it. Let me get it zoomed
so
in.
So
bad.
I guess this is the outside part of the thing. So read this.
It says first they came for ... Ukraine.
How fucking cringe is that?
What is
What is that on the side? The B-52s?
The
What is this?
B-52s. I don't know.
They're still alive?
What is that?
I think it's an outdoor patio.
Yeah, it's an outdoor patio at the.
You're still
I think
quiet, by the
actually
way,
before they
Babs.
came for Ukraine, they came for the Donbass. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
and
They
you know
also
what? And
came for the Jews, and
you know who else came for Ukraine? Victoria Nuland, right?
right.
Yeah, that
Well,
bitch.
First
fuck the
Victoria
EU.
Nuland came for the Ukraine.
Yeah,
Amazing.
it was pretty pathetic, and I don't know if Jared, if you watched. I mean, I just watched the updates on my phone during the draft this weekend, but I came across the propaganda, and I'll have to find that video. I think I sent it to myself this
I did
weekend.
see I think I did see a picture. Maybe you sent it. It was like they did some video in the background for Ukraine during the NFL draft.
Yeah, they brought out some. Oh God, I'll have to
Hey,
find it.
did-
But
did
even
you
the New
guys
York
see that-
Jets had the Ukrainian
The
flag.
Jets had
in
the
their draft
Ukrainian
room.
flag in their draft room. Yep.
Oh, great!
I saw it, I
Did
was
you see
like,
there was a
"Ugh."
rally in New York supporting Ukraine and whatnot, and they started cheering for the Azov battalion. They start going,
Really?
Azov, Azov,
No
Azov.
No way, dude.
No
Oh,
way.
Where-
God.
They weren't.
I don't
clowning
believe
them?
it. I gotta see this video. You gotta find it, Pat.
All right, I'll
Docs
send
or
you-
it didn't
I'll send you
happen.
a link.
Docs,
Oh my god.
Docs and go fuck yourself.
That's cringe. No way. That's insane. But yeah,
Cool.
I love how they call anti-war. So there was pictures from the anti-war rally, anti-war in quotes, and
Right.
it was all like, someone had like it was a they had a big sign that they were holding up that said, fuck, I'm thinking the words. Oh yeah,
You ever-
like no fly zone. They said, yeah, like a no fly zone now. I'm
Oh,
like,
wow.
that's literally World War III. You fucking
Yeah,
idiot.
an anti-war group that supports sending more weapons into a war region. this, this makes a lot of sense.
It's I don't it's priceless, I guess. I don't know. This shit's fucking weird. This whole part of the simulation is very weird. I will say that.
Dude, I mean, if this is a simulation, I don't know, man. I feel like if you're an intelligent enough species to build a simulation, like it can't be this bad, right? I mean, it can't be. It's too bad to be a simulation. You know?
Can we get a better script writer on the simulation? I think that's what
Right.
you're
Yeah.
at. Like,
Yeah, maybe
I mean,
this is like the B list of like
regurgitated
Sims.
plots. It's like, you know, like I feel
Right.
like they're gonna like probably this season they're gonna do one of those like clip shows, you know, where you get like a little bit, you're gonna get a little bit of pandemic, a little bit of war, you're gonna get a little
Right.
bit of election scandal, a little bit of Trump, little, you know, like they're just all they have are their greatest hits.
Greatest hits.
I mean, do you think this
Yeah, how
actually
about,
took
like-
place? And I posted it in our chat here, but apparently Pelosi and a whole delegation went over and spoke with Zelensky, and I posted. Dan Smots tweeted. He was like, it's real because how fake it looks, and it just all looks green screen.
Was she wearing her African robes again?
No,
She
that would
wear,
have
like,
been great.
the-
That would have been
what is the
great.
Ukrainian?
Fist up.
What's the traditional Ukrainian garb? Was she wearing whatever that is?
Yeah, it's a swastika, apparently.
She brought like
Brutal.
Yeah, I saw like they're like official like greeting, and they like bowed to each other, and
yeah.
you know, they're
I
actually,
posted a
she's like
video.
thanking him for. She thanks him for his resistance to tyranny or something. I'm like, what? Like,
Oh God, yeah. There's the play-by-play, the highlight reel. I think is what I posted there in the chat. But it's so staged. It just seems all of this just seems. Yeah, we need better script writers, Bab.
Yeah, it's definitely a staged. There's some elements of it that are clearly staged. Like the fucking like he's sitting on the steps with the sandbags and he's all posing for like GQ and shit. Like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, is he on the
Like,
cover of GQ? Is that?
I,
that
it
happened
was
yet?
it was some photo shoot. I don't.
Is he gonna be
know.
man of the year?
Oh,
Time-
he's man of the year.
Oh, that's
oh
awesome.
my god, he's man of the year.
Wait, what happened here?
What happened? What happened?
What
Can,
happened?
can you hear us, Jared?
No, I can
glory
hear
to
you.
the
I'm just
heroes.
trying to figure out what
I
happened.
posted a link in the chat for the for that Azov rally.
Oh,
in New
yes.
York.
Oh, please play this. I have to hear this.
Oh yeah, let's send that over first. Or whatever.
did.
I mean, and just for people that don't know, Azov Battalion,
They're the
Right.
Nazis.
they're literally Nazis. Speaking of literal Nazis, there's Nancy, and she's like bowing. They're bowing to each other. Who guys?
That's some
Weapons
neocon,
salesman.
you know.
There's Raytheon. there's
Wait a
Lockheed
minute.
Martin.
Wait a minute. Wear their masks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Social
look at that.
distancing.
That's pathogens passing from hand to
spreaders.
hand.
All right.
Super spreader.
Now
And,
Nancy's
so now
going.
tell me about this $30 billion I'm getting, bitch. Like, and she's like, well, 20 billion of that you have to spend with Raytheon. And the other 10 million you can spend on coke and hookers, whatever you want.
Actually sounds pretty base.
I
though.
do kind of appreciate his shtick of like never dressing up. Like
Yeah,
I kind of do like that.
I'm in a war zone.
Yeah,
You don't have
I gotta
time
wear
to
that.
put on
Yeah, I
makeup.
got to wear a hoodie while I'm at war.
Right?
What? Like I appreciate it
See,
though. Like
Nancy
that's the one
should've-
cool thing about this guy.
Nancy
Yeah,
should,
come
like,
on now.
also put on a sweatshirt.
Who the
Right?
fuck's
And
in the
like,
costume?
dress down.
Who's okay? Speaking of scripts, okay, who's in the wardrobe department? Because clearly he needs to be wearing tracksuits. Okay, tracksuits
It's not believable, man.
yeah, this hoodie. Come on now,
Is
like
anything else good in here? Oh, there's
not.
Oh,
what's
here
she
we
got
go.
to say.
What's this crazy bat?
It must have been tough for her to remain sober for the duration of the
believe that
meeting.
we are visiting you.
You think she's
to say
sober?
Thank you for your fight for freedom, that we are on a frontier of freedom and that your fight is a fight for everything. And so our commitment is to be there for you until the fight is done.
We're gonna be with you. That's the training in Spain.
President.
Oh god.
Wow.
So I have a little story to share. So I listen to there's internet radio. It's called Odyssey. It's an Odyssey app. It's where I listen to all my sports talk.
Oh
radio.
yeah, same here. Yep.
So Odyssey had a long-running podcast through the pandemic called Coronavirus Daily. And it was a daily podcast. You get all your information. Well, it literally changed. They actually changed it to Ukrainian War Daily
yeah.
podcast. Same hosts, and they're fighting for their truth and freedom and democracy. And I'm like, oh, like that sounds terrible. Like every time I hear someone says they're fighting for democracy, I'm like, ugh. Like I know what that means.
So wait, what kind of coronavirus content were they putting out? Like
Just daily,
propaganda.
like what? Yeah, like the same thing that Fauci would say. They would have people on. They even had
this was on
Fauci
Odyssey?
Yeah, Odyssey.
Not Odyssey, but it's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, no.
AUDACY, not
Oh,
It's
I thought you
not
had
Odyssey.
The one we use for
Odyssey.
video.
I was gonna say, like, why would that content be on Odyssey and what? What?
No. You got me all wrong. No, it's so
Okay.
they had it's the same host. The same host that hosted Coronavirus Daily are now hosting Ukrainian War Daily. And you get your daily
Just
brief
call
of
it like
propaganda.
the current thing daily.
Yeah.
Current thing.
It's like
I
like-
NBC
yeah.
Daily. Like
Current-
this is
the
this is
board? Are these the
Hysteria
board members
today.
of
this is where they're getting all their information from.
Is
And
this-
it's a podcast you can listen to daily.
Here's the
Terrible.
it is and I listen to the same app to listen to sports ball news, and I find it's harder and harder to listen to because all their commercials are just promoting the Odyssey app, and it's this exactly what Otto said, and it's just straight up war propaganda. They're saying like, oh, the Russians are killing civilians and causing war crime, or committing war crimes. And
Why do you have this app in the first place, Otto?
Well, because I want to listen to sports ball, but then
It
during
was
the
literally-
commercial breaks,
So the app was TuneIn. It was I could listen to
Mhm.
CBS Sports Radio. And then
Oh.
TuneIn, they sold their rights to radio.com app, and then radio.com became Entercom, which then became Odyssey over the past few years that I've been listening
Yeah.
to podcasts.
and
So it's
this
just
it all
all
happened.
consolidated.
Yeah. within 2 years, the whole time during the scamdemic. So all these corporate conglomerates just merged to become. So all their commercials are just advertising for these podcasts that no one would fucking listen to. Who? Well, obviously somebody's listening to them, but they're just straight
No,
propaganda.
yeah, robots are listening to them.
Yeah. There's no way.
People
I'm
be
like,
pop, boop, boop.
seriously.
Well,
And there's-
here's the thing. This is, and I forget who I was listening to that was basically saying this, and I'm basically copying the idea, but I'll do it anyways. But essentially, like, This is the
Like that.
last-ditch effort of the mainstream media
Mm-hmm.
to kind of like take back, to try and like reach out and try and take back over. So like
Yep.
obviously they were super late to the game. They see, oh, everyone's listening to podcasts now. They don't want to listen to terrestrial radio. They don't want to listen to this fucking garbage.
Right.
So they're like, okay, we will just repackage our same bullshit and put it out as a podcast and create our own little networks and try to hide what we're doing and have like cool
We'll make
little
our own
titles.
Joe Rogan.
Right.
Yeah.
But of course, it's not going to work. It's not going to work for them because there's too many options. And when you have too many options, you can separate the wheat from the chaff, you know? At least that's my white pilled optimism about.
Well,
the whole
and
thing.
people listen to Joe Rogan and whatnot because it seems like refreshingly honest compared to the bullshit that's being pumped out like by the corporate media. Right. So if you want to put some of that, I'm sure there's plenty of podcasts willing to regurgitate the corporate media talking points. Like, who cares? Right. Like,
yeah.
That's not why people are listening to Joe Rogan. It's not like, oh, I listen to podcasts now. You know, it's where can I get something that seems honest in this world of fake news and bullshit propaganda and state sponsored everything and pharma sponsored, you know, media news shows.
Right.
People are fed up with that bullshit.
Yeah, I think it's just like one last gas. Like it's just one last Hail Mary for the mainstream media to the corporate media. So
I mean, it's at the point where punk rock libertarians has more journalistic integrity than CNN.
I mean, you are goddamn right.
Seriously.
And we don't have any standards, you know?
No.
We have no standards.
Yeah.
We clearly come on here. We thought we had a guest.
Barely even researched.
Yeah, our guest is
man.
20 minutes late.
Our guest.
He doesn't respect
And
us.
more.
No one does.
Yeah. I invite him on.
We get no respect.
Right.
Yet we're still going to be far more accurate than CNN.
Right.
Yeah,
This is true.
Yeah, we can read the CNN propaganda and then be more accurate after reading the propaganda directly, right?
Well, I feel like let's invite Nina Jankowicz onto the show.
Ooh, that's
maybe
a good
she
idea.
can just come on and maybe she could like censor us in real time. Like,
that'd be great.
Like just to show like, nope, here's what, you know, like just show us what we do wrong. You know, like
we want to do better. Give us some advice.
Yeah, give us on a scale of 1 to the Steele dossier. Where are we ranking here as far as misinformation?
Like, I don't even know if she's aware that we need to be censored. I mean, here we are, you know, like.
Yeah, and she could come on, do some show tunes. Maybe we could bring old Judge Gray back on. They could do
What if they did a duet?
Duet?
Yeah, can we just get like a? Can we just
Nina and the judge? You know,
Nina and the judge. The statist opera.
That's gonna be. Oh, I think that might be our new spin-off podcast. But do we have
just
some of
trick
her?
statist into coming on and singing.
I think this is a good opportunity to mention Bob Barr. Okay. Bob Barr voted to create the Department of Homeland Security, which is now running this new Ministry of Truth. So thank you, Bob Barr, for centralizing power and laying the groundwork for the Ministry of Truth. Way to go.
The great libertarian presidential candidate, Bob Barr. Yep.
You may remember him as a CIA agent or prosecutor, but no. He was a congressman, and he authored things like the Defensive Marriage Act, and he was busy creating the TSA and Homeland Security and the Patriot Act, and
voting for the Iraq War, and good
guy. The wars, everything. Is there any shitty thing that went down when he was a congressman that he didn't vote for?
Not really. The Reno reset needs to happen.
Benefits. We're still reaping the benefits, and now
this
it's
is an
Nina Jankowicz.
So this is an interesting line from the CBS News coverage of this. They said White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said during a briefing Thursday that the board will tackle misinformation on a range of issues, and Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas said part of its intention is to counter misinformation in Hispanic communities, especially.
Wow,
what is that? What does that mean?
That just means we have to combat their misinformation, and we need to do this podcast in Spanish. I guess.
I'm just offended that he didn't say Latinx community.
Right.
Yeah. Does your
What a
bot,
bigot.
Bab? Does your bot work in Spanish, in Espanol as well?
We have other
the
bots.
Spanish
for that.
malinformation bot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a whole
be the
division
Latinx.
for-
Can you reboot your
Latinx.
bot?
Yeah, we need to reprogram you in Espanol.
So do we have?
I mean, are they getting any pushback even from the left at all on this Ministry of Truth thing? I gotta believe, like, even the regime Democrats are like, dude, really?
I don't know about the
We're
regime
really going
people.
that
I mean,
far with this? Or are they just like
They are.
so happy? Like, finally, we have an answer to Elon Musk.
well, it is kind of odd I say in quotation marks, how this happened almost immediately after Elon Musk signed the deal to, take over Twitter.
Now, of course, they had this in the works for decades, right? Maybe they were just waiting for that, for the right timing, the right crisis, and they're like, "This is as good as we're gonna get." I think they're ready for it. Like we've softened them up with a whole, we started with Alec Jones, we worked our way up to Dr. Malone. We did COVID. We've done. We did the election. We did, we've got everybody on board with this whole, like, oh, you can't say anything that's not approved. And now, now we move into the war effort, right? So, I don't know.
Well, don't worry, guys, because the department has created the Disinformation Governance Board to ensure that this work does not infringe on the fundamental right of free speech.
Oh, thank
and
God.
to further protect privacy, civil rights, and civil liberties.
Right, because when I think of Homeland Security, I think of protecting civil liberties and privacy.
Yeah.
For instance, when they're feeling your balls at the airport.
Now they're going to feel your balls and look at your phone to see that you're not consuming misinformation.
They're going to look up your asshole to see if you're hiding MDM up there.
I mean, it was based on the pillars of integrity of the TSA. They're like, these TSA guys are doing so good. They've caught so many terrorists, and we've only had to arrest like 500 agents for stealing iPads from Indian tourists, right? or stealing gold jewelry. I don't know if they've ever. I'm sure they caught some terrorist at some point, right?
Right. Of course.
They're like, well, let's put them in charge of the truth. The guys that are recruiting help on pizza boxes, right? They're going to be the ones that are assigned to decide what's true or not.
You've seen Help Wanted ads on pizza boxes?
Wait, yeah, what are you saying?
That's how they recruited TSA agents. You don't remember that?
No.
You guys are so young. See, this is where you got to keep old guys like me around. Like, when they rolled out the TSA, they were like, well, where are we going to get they were advertising on pizza boxes, and they brought in that's why those blue shirts, like the blue shirt uniforms, like they start at 3X and go to like 9X, right? For uniform.
Right. No fat shaming. All right. Can we not? No fat shaming.
Otto's still at 2X. It's okay.
No, I'm not.
But anyway,
you're so generous, Jared. Thank you.
Based on the public adoration for the TSA, they're like, yeah, let's put them in charge of like telling people what's true and stuff. That'll be great.
Right.
Sounds like a fine idea.
And they're like, is there anybody from a Glee club we could get to head this up? Like what?
We have someone with great credentials. She has great credentials. I mean, she's an author of 2 books. What was the title of the one book?
Can we show her picture? Can we put her picture up? I don't judge people based on their physical appearance, but I felt like she has sort of an evil look to her, like an evil Glee Club kind of look.
Yeah, let me pull up the old. Yeah, let's just play this fucking video, man.
Yeah, this is just
Holy
insane.
shit.
Maybe not the whole thing, just out of respect for our audience. Just give them a little taste of the flavor. We don't want to recreate a Jim
fever
Gray
for the
situation.
flavor. Yeah, it's true. That was very traumatizing for our audience.
I'm sure they like the first 5 minutes, but after like 25 minutes of that,
you can see just by her mannerisms that she's going to be super annoying. Okay, what?
Oh, wait.
Wait, can you hear it?
Yep.
Okay, I can hear it, but already I could tell she was a drama nerd.
All right,
She was like total drama nerd.
let's do it.
Information laundering is really quite ferocious. It's when a huckster takes some lies and makes them sound precocious by saying them in Congress or a mainstream outlet. So disinformation's origins are slightly less atrocious. It's how you hide a little lie. It's how you hide a little lie.
Oh my
It's how you
God.
hide a little lie. When Rudy Giuliani shared that intel from Ukraine, or when TikTok influencers say COVID can cause pain, they're laundering disinfo, and we really should take note and not support their lies with our wallet, voice, or vote. Oh, information.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
I need her to die.
Make bullying theater kids great again. Okay? This is
Minecraft.
what happens. This is what happens. You do not bully these motherfuckers in the public indoctrination camps. Oh,
Babs has
Babs
been
is
muted.
muted. Babs is
You're
muted.
muted. They
Babs.
muted you.
I was gonna say they probably had, you know, the selection process are like, oh, let's listen to all the candidates' musical numbers again. And when they heard her number, Biden was like, we have found our director. She is the one. All the other applicants were dismissed, and she was just crowned, you know, misinformation queen. I posted a link. I don't know if you can find it, to another musical number that might even be.
Oh, yes, you got to pull that one up.
James,
Jared.
you got to fix your mic, man.
Yeah, I think you're coming through the
computer.
headphones again.
What's up?
Yeah, what's going on there? What's going on with your audio technician there? And
You got
Tampering.
socked.
She knows you. Yeah,
He
you
got
got
socked.
socked.
All right, how about that?
Talk
Say it again.
again.
Talk.
Are we back?
There you
Testing
go.
one.
This is how professional our podcast is. We do mic checking live on
Who
air.
gives a shit?
Well, like
Nobody
somehow
cares.
it like jumps from mic to mic on this. I don't know why. Like
I've had that happen. I've had that happen during work. It sucks. Anyways,
my apologies.
So what the fuck were we talking about?
her
you
other
wanna-
musical.
Do you think
kids-
the audience would be interested in yet another Nina?
no
musical
let's spare
number?
them.
I think
Let's
this
spare
one's
them.
pretty telling. It's pretty telling of how she got
Do
this
tell.
position. Because I mean, if Otto was in a position of, you know, in DC, he probably would. He'd partake. He would. She.
I don't know.
I used to hang
She's
around with
very-
musical. I used to hang around with musical theater girls. Okay, I'm okay. I'm not opposed to
Guilty
that
as
as
charged.
principle, right? Like, I mean, I was in band. You know, like you work with
Yeah.
what you've got to work with. You know,
That's who you're. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
so
Been there, done that.
But wow, becoming in charge of Ministry of Truth, like, I mean, is anybody surprised though that, you know, she doesn't really check off a lot of the boxes that you'd think a department head would have to have? Like, she's pretty obviously a woman. Would you guys agree? I know you're not biologists.
I'm not a biologist.
I think most people
yes.
agree she's a woman.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
And
Wait, what are her-
white.
Oh,
and white.
but is she sick?
And I mean, there's
Does she have
I don't
any
know.
connections? Does she have any like political connections? Like her dad, like was a part of
Is
Iran
she-
Contra, or
Or
the
is she a Jew?
is she? She does look Jewish.
Well, she studied over in.
Funny. She doesn't look Jewish.
So I was listening to. No Agenda today, and she.
We're in charge of everything. Okay, even the Ministry of Truth. All right.
She apparently is. She speaks Russian. So how do you combat Russian
She speaks
misinformation?
Russian.
Apparently, yeah. And she studied over in Ukraine. Like she's been over there. She's a total.
Mm.
She's
You think she gave Lindsay head?
maybe. I mean, she works for the Woodrow
maybe Klaus
Institution
Schwab.
or something.
Yeah, is she schwabbing that knob?
That's a podcast title.
Yeah, it is.
Oh shit! I started following her on the page, so we'll get some updates. Let me pull up her profile. But she works for the Woodrow Wilson Institute or something. So
Oh my
God.
that fucking speaks volumes. Okay,
She could be more evil if she tried.
what the fuck's her name again?
Nina Yankowicz.
Nina. Yeah, let's see
Nina
here.
yank my tits. I don't
Yeah.
know.
So it's so funny because there's a meme. There's a meme of, you know, have you guys seen the like Dr. Evil laughing with everyone like laughing around him?
Yeah.
And it's someone put on her like, I'm gonna tell my kids this was the World Economic Forum.
You got to pull that up. That was probably the meme of the week.
It didn't get much traction on anytime
Yeah, I
you
saw that.
mention
I
the
was a
World
little
Economic
disappointed.
Forum or anything you talk about Klaus Schwab, it doesn't get traction on Instagram. I found that out.
I wonder why.
I know. I got half the reach on that.
We need
Got
all the
700.
reach.
I usually get like 1,500 likes. I got 700 on this one. It's pretty weird.
So, Babs, tell us about the. Speaking of misinformation, how was your Mises event Saturday?
Oh, it's
Tell
New
us all
Jersey
about it.
Mises Caucus plus New Jersey Human Action plus CanaSense event on Medical Freedom Fest
Nice.
Cool.
in
Nice.
Hightstown, New Jersey on Saturday. It was badass.
Nice.
These guys
Good
put on a
turnout?
great event. It was an excellent turnout. I don't know how many people, but it was, I'd say it was full. But it was in a cool outdoor pavilion. Vendors. You guys know Neil Schloss from CanaSense, right?
No, you spoke about him. I've yet
Yeah,
to meet him. You told us the backstory.
He's running a really cool website. You were able to log into his website, pay for cannabis products with Bitcoin Cash, or Monero, and then have it delivered on site during the event. Like he had a special event promo.
Oh, there he is. Hey, our guest. He's late to Liberty.
What's up? I thought
He's also
abandoned him.
muted.
Yeah, he's definitely
I thought you
muted.
guys could use a little bit of Jesus to the stream, so I thought I would come and
You're late to the Bible study.
right? Yeah.
So Jacob came on. Jacob, tell us, first time on the podcast, tell us about yourself.
Yeah, who are you?
Who am I? Well, I don't even know if my name Jacob. I mean, I feel like I go by Jacob or Daniel or
Yeah,
I
call you
a couple different
everything.
Yeah, but yeah. So my name is Jacob. I am a podcaster. I do a podcast called Daniel 3 Biblical Anarchy, focused kind of on libertarianism, anarchist philosophy from a Christian biblical perspective. But also we'll just talk about general current events, libertarian stuff, and all that kind of good stuff. And other than that, I'm a husband, father. I work on cars for a living. I'm a transmission specialist, so I'm the tranny guy.
You work on
At work?
trannies?
Ooh.
Yeah. I have my arm.
tranny on the show
I am
anymore.
I am elbow deep in trannies all day long. Yeah, cover. I mean, just,
Are you a
Steamed
biologist?
up. You're getting a little steamed up now, huh?
right? No, listen. I can't identify the parts on the car. Okay, I'm not an engineer, so I'm not qualified to identify what a transmission even is. Other than that, I'm a fellow music lover. I actually used to be on my, like when I was younger, I was on like the cringy church youth worship team where all that stuff. So in the great tradition of Christian media, I love when Christians take the great rock songs of the ages and do their cringy covers of them and all that. Yeah, completely destroy them. Remember doing that. We did a Christian version of Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen at a Christian camp I went to once. So yeah, that was fun. But yeah, no, that's pretty much me in a nutshell.
You forgot your most important title there, Mr. Constable.
Mr. Oh yeah, I'm a cop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn it. I can't be here anymore now, can I?
Constable?
Yes.
I'm an elected constable, yeah.
He's one of
You're
those
a member of the badged class. Is that
I
what
don't
you're
know
saying?
which part of that upsets me more, the constable part or the elected part. Like they're both because like as an anarchist,
Did they
it's
give you a
like-
badge, or do you have to buy your own for that?
Yeah, they didn't give me a badge. They don't give me anything. They're mad
You
at
could
me.
order one for you. You could order one for yourself.
Yeah.
So is
dude,
this something you
Well,
ran
that's
for? Was this something you ran for on a troll, on a dare? Like what happened?
So Otto might know a little bit about this. So Pennsylvania has this weird legal loophole. They call it the Molten Maneuver, but basically it allows us to run people in uncontested races in local county and municipal
Is this
races.
named after Chuck Moulton?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So
He got
Um,
it's called a maneuver now. Oh well,
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what it's called.
I didn't
The
realize
old
that.
molten reach around.
Right.
The molten reach around.
Yep. But so as an effort to just kind of like, because quantity is better than quality. So, we just decided to run as many people for office as possible via the Molten Maneuver. And, it's not nothing. I mean, it's not something brag worthy, but I mean, it kind of is if you just kind of.
It's better than
you can
inspector of elections.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
it's a little bit, I mean, but we got
We've
some
elected
people.
150 libertarians in Pennsylvania. But
Yeah.
how many are inspector of elections?
Yeah, no, a
All
lot of them are that, but there's some constables. We got a few mayors. We got some people elected mayor.
Wait,
like, I'll
you got
shout out to,
libertarian mayors in Pennsylvania?
Yeah, Kate
Yeah.
Crosby.
Kate
out in
Crosby.
West,
Yeah.
out in Bumble, Pennsylvania, like Potter.
Yep. And then we
How
got
do you
a-
not know who your mayors are, Bab?
And then we got a couple people to city council in their local towns as well. So that's all well and good.
Yeah. So
How about some auditors? Any auditors out there?
Is Michael Heiss an auditor, or is he? What did he get?
I think so. I don't know.
Clue.
I forget.
So obviously, Jacob's
people
part
are
of the
having fun
cult.
with it.
He's part
Yeah,
of
of
the cult.
course. Hell Heiss.
Yes, and that's how we met. We met on the bus to Pittsburgh with all the alt-right
Yes.
Nazis.
Yeah, you were the out-of-staters that we bust in.
Yeah, all three of those out-of-staters.
We
I know.
crossed state lines.
We crossed state lines.
Not the state lines.
So yeah,
Oh.
this was the Pittsburgh convention before the Grand Pennsylvania takeover. This was the Pittsburgh.
Before the Williamsport massacre.
When
Yes.
you say takeover, I really think that Mises guys need to stop using the word takeover. Think of it as more of a restoration or a rescue,
a reset. A reset.
Listen,
a
so
great reset. Yeah.
Otto as my witness-
Parliamentary coup d'etat.
Otto as my witness, when I joined the party in the Macy's caucus, I was probably one of the biggest proponents of bridge building, of like, let's just all get along.
Yep.
Everyone here's a libertarian.
I was making
And then
fun
a year later, what's happened, Otto?
yeah.
Now
You're
I'm like
the
one of the
big-
most
Sabotage.
I'm one of the most radicalized, like, fuck the haters people out there. And listen, I used to not be a big fan of the takeover rhetoric, but there's a reason that rhetoric was created. It's because of all the bitch fuck cucks in the party that were dragging everything down, causing all sorts
the
of
Bob
issues.
Barr supporters, the Gary
Yeah.
Johnson people, the Bill Weld
Yeah.
characters.
Well, I
Well,
mean,
it's,
listen,
it's like
like-
they accuse you guys of taking over, so you're like, whatever. If you're going to keep
in-
like
in
they're
all
the
saying
ones,
it,
they're the
we're just
ones
gonna
that took
adopt it.
over a libertarian organization with their bullshit. right?
Exactly.
Like that's why I
Well,
say
and-
this isn't a takeover. This is a restoration.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Exactly.
takeovers are just that's what democracy is, right? You're trying to take over, whether it's a position or a majority.
I love democracy.
Majority count on a specific, whether it's Congress or whether it's a Senate or whether it's a caucus or a party or whatever. Like that's what democracy is. And listen, I mean, as an anarchist, I'm not a fan of democracy in governing structures, but at the same time, like if you're going to do it, you play to win.
Have you done any
Oh.
duties as a constable? Have you like delivered any warrants or?
No, I won't do any of that bitch shit. The only thing I have to do and that I will do is I have to show up on a poll day. I have to serve as like one of the many people serving security to make sure that they can, no one comes in while they're adding in all the fake votes and shit.
I think as a member of the badge class, you have enhanced self-defense rights in Pennsylvania. Are you
Yeah, I
aware of
do.
that?
I do. I haven't looked much into that, but there's supposedly some kind of perks I could take advantage
I think you
of.
can. I think you have an
kill
opportunity to
black
carry
people
guns where
wherever you want.
mere mundanes would be arrested.
Right.
Kill all
Yeah.
minorities. It's fine. That's what you're granted. That's your extra power.
I
Yeah.
guess we don't have anything like that in Maryland.
Well, now
Now,
I
one
can
thing
shoot
you
a dog
could
and not
do-
go to jail.
Well, are you getting any like notifications from courthouses about warrants that
No.
could be? Our friend Rob Pepe was a constable, and
Oh, Rob. Yeah, Rob's a good dude. How's
and
he
he
been?
would do stuff like if I recall, it's been a few years, but he would do stuff like he would just call the people, be like, "Hey, just so you know that you've got
looking
this
for
thing
you."
out there. You might want to take care of that." That would be the
Huh.
extent of his.
My thought was to like show up at the doorstep, be like, "So I have a warrant for your to serve you," and then just be like, "That's you."
No,
Throw it
no,
away
you
or
don't want to
something.
even be there.
Yeah, because
But
they
a
might
phone
show up.
call,
They might
is-
show up with
you
a
know what?
gun.
How do normal people interact? Right? They don't show up and bang on the door. They might, send
That's
a
true.
text, an email, a phone call. Right?
How do you get
act
their
like a
number
normal
though?
person.
How do you get their contact? You can reach out on Facebook or something, I guess. But
I don't know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
You
be
find a way.
surprised if you're submitting a warrant, they give you, a certain amount of information. Instagram passwords, that kind of thing.
phone metadata.
God.
You know,
Right? Yeah. Here's the password to walk in to log into the NSA account so you can listen in on the phone calls.
So,
Oh,
yeah,
so-
that's cool, man. So you haven't really. So this is just this past November. You have this position, correct?
Yeah,
Or
I mean, honestly,
after election?
I didn't do it with any aspirations to do anything other than just be like, I mean, at most it can be a thing in the resume if I choose to run for office again later for something of more consequence. But I don't know. I mean, the only thing, like, I could potentially run for sheriff down the road, maybe, but
That's what you need to do.
because sheriff is a position where you can actually do some more like nullification, stuff and have a bit more power. Constable is kind of like just the bitch boy for the sheriff and the
Are there
law
any
Could you
good
enforcement.
libertarian
could you
sheriff
find one of
stories?
these small counties, right, where you might have a chance? Like, what county do you live in?
I live in York County.
Pretty big.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Yeah, it's a big
It's a
one.
big one.
But like in some of these small counties, there's like 10,000 people live in the county. Like you might be able to, maybe you could become a sheriff in one of these areas.
Yeah, you can move to Adams County. Well, I mean, that's still kind of big. I don't know.
I lived there for a
There's
little bit in Gettysburg.
Be
What's
curious to see,
Pennsylvania?
like, I mean, remember the constitutional sheriff movement, Mac,
Yeah.
Sheriff Mac. That shit was so weak. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but these guys are all a bunch of wusses. Like they never
Yeah.
did anything, did they?
No, there was that one guy. I remember going to CPAC a few times. There'd be this guy. I forget where he was from. He was somewhere out west. He was a sheriff. He always had a cowboy hat, and he was like, "Ask me how we should legalize all drugs." And apparently, he was a sheriff. But other than
Was
that,
that
there
Mac?
weren't.
Was that could have been Mac, maybe?
No, it wasn't because he was kind of like more conservative. But this dude was a little more like, for considering it was a CPAC event, he was a little more radical. CPAP, yeah, CPAC. But
Hey, Jared.
Speaking of events, Babs was in the middle of talking about the New Jersey event, Jacob, right when you were coming in. So, Babs, tell us more about that event.
Well, there were some
the guest
speakers there.
speaker?
There were speakers that were really cool. Ian Smith, who's a gym owner, who like kept his gym open despite the lockdowns.
Oh,
and stuff. He
yeah.
got fined.
Dude,
arrested.
they seized his bank account prior to like the Canada, like the Trump.
They took his bank accounts. They arrested him. They canceled his licenses. They barricaded his own business, and he broke in.
Yeah,
I think.
it's fucking based.
He was kind of interesting. Mike Heiss did a great presentation. Like Mike Heiss was pretty much on point. Like, he brought a good amount of libertarianism into the program, which was great. So he did a good job.
There?
Who?
Maj Touré?
Yeah, he was excellent. And it was a good chance to kind of talk about like, well, why is the Second Amendment like important when you're talking about like health freedom? And you like think about like the countries that were disarmed, and getting welded into their apartment buildings or sent into camps in Australia and shit. Like when they're doing their their tyranny is going to be determined by your ability to defend, right? So ultimately, if you really want to stand up against, the vaccine mandates or whatever they're going to do, like you better be armed. So, I thought that was an important part of the program.
Nice. So it was a great turnout, though.
Yeah, it was a good turnout. Can of Sense, Neil Schloss. Can of Sense is super cool. He's got a cool thing where you can order stuff from him and he mails it to you. It's freaking great. I mean, he's a real entrepreneur. Also a big, he uses his headquarters for events. We had an after party over at his headquarters. Just a solid dude. Dan O'Neill was the, I guess the main organizer, but there are a lot of people that helped out put on this event. Like they really busted their balls and, had a, nice PA system, lighting, food, booze. Like they really went all out. So
Ed Clifford said, he said it was awesome. Yeah, Ed, I was hanging out with Ed last weekend. He came down to Baltimore, visited with Bergman and me.
Nice.
Down. Yeah. So it was good to see Ed Clifford.
I should have told you guys we were down in Baltimore a few weekends ago.
Yeah, what the fuck, man?
Yeah,
You
went to the aquarium.
Oh, now did you have to show some sort of vaccine passport? Because I knew
No,
they were.
they ended that. They
No.
ended that.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. Yeah.
No, we didn't have to wear masks. It was honestly not as bad as I was expecting. I mean, it still is kind of annoying the degree to which people down there are wearing masks outside.
Oh,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
up
dude.
here
It's
in
so
PA.
sad. Very
So
sad.
dumb.
Very sad.
And just how much, I couldn't believe how much is closed now in the Inner Harbor. Like the Fudgery closed. Like that was even before COVID. Like I was like, what the, like everything from my
nobody goes-
childhood.
Everything is closed.
Nobody
like-
goes to the Inner Harbor, dude. It is like it
And
They
is-
Everything
still
from
have
my
those like
childhood is, like,
trash-eating
gone.
monsters in the
Yeah,
harbor.
they're there.
They
Yeah,
still
they
got
still-
the trash wheel, man.
That's
Yeah,
probably
there
the
was
main
some guy
attraction
that
in
was-
Baltimore, right?
there
Is that
was-
why
Yeah,
most
you go
people
there
there?
and you do it. You give an offering.
Yeah, you want to go
You throw
see
your
the
trash in the
wheel.
harbor, and
Yeah,
then
you
you
throw your
watch it
trash
like
in the
eat
harbor.
it.
You light it on fire. You shoot a
Yeah.
bullet into it.
Yeah,
was some
It's
guy
like,
that was
it's like when you go to San Francisco, you take a dump on the sidewalk. Right?
exactly.
Like you go to
Come to
Baltimore, you bring
Baltimore.
some garbage and throw it in the harbor.
Throw it in the
Take some
Inner Harbor.
garbage. Commit
That's what you
at
do.
least manslaughter, and then
Dude, there was
go on your
like
way.
there was like 5 shootings this weekend. There was like a big shooting in the Inner Harbor. Like nobody wants to go down there because
in the Inner Harbor. Wow. I didn't
Yeah,
know
like
that.
you
Well,
said,
it's-
Jacob. Like a lot of those businesses have closed. A lot, because all the bars and restaurants and everything. So now it's just like, what the fuck do you think was going to happen? That one neighborhood, Fells Point, straight up hired a lawyer and multiple businesses. This was probably over a year ago. Said, look, we're not paying our fucking taxes. We're going to put it in an escrow account because you're not picking up the garbage. It's just like total chaos down here. So guess what? We're withholding our taxes. And fuck you. Figure this. You
Dude,
know,
I
so
need to start. Dude,
yeah,
they stopped collecting recycling every week now, which is like fake recycling. Like they don't even recycle most of it. But
Where's all the
Right.
money going? Like you guys have some of the highest fucking taxes. You're like,
Just throw it in the
this is-
harbor.
I mean, this
well,
is,
there's no yeah.
they just
I
throw it
remember-
in the harbor.
It
I
goes
remember
to
going
the,
down-
to the
I
criminal
remember-
class.
I
And
remember
by that I
my-
mean the political class.
I remember my dad having to explain to me that like one time we went down to like the Towson Town Center. I was like a teenager, and it was like one of the weekends where there was like a tax holiday going on. I was like, "What the fuck is that? Like, why do they need that? Like, well, it's because like
Right.
people don't go shopping because the sales tax and shit is so high. So it's like, I mean, where do you
Yeah,
guys
it's so
put all
sad
the-
they do it once a year because it's like, what the fuck? Like, I'll just go to fucking Delaware. Like Doug Stanley, friend of the show, he's just like, what are you up to this weekend? He's like, going to Delaware, making a major purchase. It's just like, what the fuck? It's like no one wants to buy anything in Maryland. It's like you just go to Delaware and make a
Well,
major
same
purchase.
with Pennsylvania. Like you can do Amazon deliveries to like a pickup box, like in Delaware. So like if I have a lot of shopping to do or whatever, like I'll just let it build up in my cart, get a couple $1,000 worth of stuff, and then send
I
it to
just-
Delaware for pickup.
There you go. Speaking of packages that came through Amazon, was so you unveiled it, Babs? It's legit,
Yes, and I
right?
haven't sent it to you yet. I apologize.
don't-
but we
don't
did
worry about it,
receive
dude.
the
You can
3D
hold-
printer.
You can hold
and,
off on it.
Are you
I
gonna
might
unveil
act-
it on the podcast?
Yeah, we should.
Like
Like
we
the auto
see it on the
blow.
show, like the auto blow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can like show it fully operational.
Maybe we
with
could
our
work it into the
special guest
logo.
from the we could bring on our special
That'd be
guest
like
for
you could print like you know like maybe print some magazines or something or
live
you
on
know,
air. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do it. Well, hold off on that, man, because I might be coming up soon, actually. So I could probably
Oh,
just pick
shit.
it up in person. So
Well, it'd be fun to see if you do come up, but
yeah,
you know,
yeah, for sure. I'll hit
figure
you
it
up. We'll figure it out. What else we got, guys? A lot going on this week. What
yeah.
did I hit on.
Central African Republic. It is on.
Are
Have you guys ever
moving there,
heard of the
Gab?
country called Central African Republic? Because I swear to
have.
God, I didn't know it existed.
I have.
No, break it
I've been
down, break
Studying
it
up
down.
on my status lines lately, my geography.
My dad was a missionary to Africa, and I don't even know what that country is.
It's in kind of like I guess it's
Central Africa, surprisingly or not.
Yeah, it is
enough.
actually in the center of Africa.
Yeah, and it's got a really creative name, and I'm sure it has nothing to do with like European colonization, but
I like how none of
I
us would
think-
have even batted an eye though if it was like the very like as south in Africa as you can go, other than South Africa, and it was called that. We'd have been like, it's par for the course.
whatever. But well, they've adopted Bitcoin as legal tender in addition to the Central African franc, which is used by like 6 other countries in the region. So is this a big deal? I don't know, but now there's 2 countries with Bitcoin as legal tender. That's got to be, I don't know, it's 100% more.
But guys, Bitcoin is just fiat currency.
There's another. I think. What is it? Somewhere in Latin America again. Panama. Panama's doing something. I don't know if it's legal tender or let me see. They're doing something. Crypto bill moves one step closer to becoming an official crypto nation, whatever that means.
Speaking of crypto, I posted in the chat there, Jared.
Panama passed a bill on Thursday to enact regulations for the commercialization and use of cryptocurrency in the Republic. Well, it sounds kind of lame,
but you know what? The nice thing about it is whether it's El Salvador or Panama or Central African Republic, Bitcoin doesn't care if you're legal tender or not.
It doesn't matter.
Right? Fuck your legal tender bullshit. Like,
Jared,
that's the whole idea of Bitcoin is we don't care whether you want it to be officially accepted or not. But it does, it is kind of a thermometer of how like normies are handling it out there. So I still think it's interesting, but and a reminder that Bitcoin is for everyone, even our enemies, even nation states. So it's just interesting to observe.
They're just putting it out in the open. I listened to this today. It was some conference, I guess, that was going on this weekend. Babs, did you hear about it? But the vice chairman of Berkshire Hathaway, and Jared might be bringing it up, but this is just how blatant they, they're just putting
this beam.
Yeah. But this was a direct quote from the vice chairman of what is his name, Charlie Munger. I mean, the guy looks like he looks like his skin suit's barely holding on this reptile. I mean, look at his eyes. So I don't even think he's human. He's definitely a reptilian, but
he is actually like kind of a legend in the investment world.
Yeah, but I mean, listen to
like
this.
He's a Warren Buffett type guy. I mean, he works.
For
Berkshire Hathaway.
Well, that's the thing. They interviewed them both, and they don't understand. And then this is the direct quote, exactly what he said. But Bitcoin is evil because it undermines the Federal Reserve System. Charlie Munger, vice chairman of Berkshire Hathaway. And this was just this past weekend at I guess it was a crypto conference or some big like investment conference.
Of course.
Well, Warren Buffett also got some digs in on Bitcoin, where he said he wouldn't buy all the Bitcoin in the world for $25.
Yeah, because they were basically both on this panel, and he said, "Well, the problem," or he's like, "It could all just go to zero." And it's like, no,
that's a good thing the dollar can't do that,
right?
I'm sure this guy has at least
those guys. What do you think the chances of those guys having some definite Bitcoin exposure in their portfolio?
Oh, that's what I was about to say. Like he's at least got 50 million in Bitcoin, at least,
or a billion.
Yeah. I mean, probably closer to a billion. Yeah, hundreds of millions. I'll go.
Or at least some certain stocks of Bitcoin mining companies or MicroStrategy, or
Well, this is part of the whale game. Part of the whale game is knock the price down, FUD it up a little bit, and then buy more of it.
Do you think they're probably
you got to respect the game? You got to respect the game.
They might be setting the stage where you have people like that kind of poisoning the well, or kind of setting the stage for the next big thing, like, oh, Bitcoin bad, it undermines the Federal Reserve. There's going to be propaganda pieces. There's going to, when they switch that
the Federal Reserve Battalion.
Yeah. There's going to be like I don't know. You could just see the narrative
for
shifting.
The Federal Reserve.
Yeah. Or there's
first it came for Ukraine. We saw that before.
Then they came for the Federal Reserve. They tried to shut it. It just seems like they're always setting the stage for the next propaganda.
You know what's
going to happen to all the dollars we sent to Ukraine?
What if we're headed into some kind of weird showdown between like the central banks and the treasuries, like where they start fighting over who gets to be the master of the central bank digital currency, right? Like it could, like we think that it's going to be like a smooth transition into the Great Reset, but these guys might like be fighting.
Yeah, they could be like, look, Fed, you've been fucking up. How's the mortgage rates are up to 6%. You guys are fucking up. We're taking over this.
Well, there's a lot of proposals to just have the Treasury, issue the currency directly without, without using the banks. So
why use
the greenback? That's what Lincoln did.
There's no you don't need the logistical mechanism of the banks anymore. If you can just,
and lefties would be all for that. I think typically they're like, just
package it as a
centralize
green,
it all,
like as a Green New Deal, like no banks.
Part of the Great Reset, I don't know.
Dan, we might have to get into possible scenarios in the after hours of the Great Reset, because There's a lot we didn't get into.
I wish I had that new Ministry of Truth czar here, because I just got someone just like posted Roe versus Wade was just overturned by the Supreme Court. Just made the statement. I'm like, what? Why am I getting messages like this?
Well, until I hear from Nina, I'm just going to ignore it.
Yeah, we don't know.
God damn it,
basically,
Nina.
from now on, I'm just going to wait till what Nina says, and then I'm just going to go with that.
Nina.
I think that's fake news, dude.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I think that's malinformation.
You guys have to submit this podcast for approval when you're done, right?
I want Nina to do a weekly, if not daily, misinformation alert musical number where she gives us a color-coded alert status.
I want it sent via SMS to my phone without my consent.
Can I send the Constitution in for review by the Department of Truth? Because I'm pretty sure that everything that's in there is a lie, because that's not what they're doing. There's some kind of fake news going on there.
That would be flagged.
Well, as long as you don't quote the Declaration of Independence, that's definitely racist hate speech right there.
Right, yeah.
Oh, boy. All right, Otto.
What does that mean? All right, Otto. What did I do?
Oh, are you taking us out, or we
Patreons and blah, blah, blah.
We got a few minutes.
Well, Jacob, you came in late. Are you able to hang out for after hours?
Yeah, I could hang out.
Okay, cool.
Right,
We'll
cool.
plug away, or you kind of already.
Yeah, where can people find you?
Yeah.
Twitter is at Biblical Anarchy, and if you want to catch the podcast, just look up Daniel 3 Biblical Anarchy, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or any of the dozen other weird, obscure podcatchers that I'm surprised. There's some weird ones I've never heard of, but people watch my show on it. So I don't know. Go check it out if you want.
Yes, please do. Thank you for coming on, even though it's a little late. We won't hold it against you.
Yes, sorry, Mike.
I will, but
I got a 38-week pregnant wife who needed
that's
attending,
right.
So.
I forgot. My bad. All right, yeah,
Seems fair.
All good.
Seems
We've all
fair.
been late to liberty.
Is she a woman? I don't want to ask too many personal questions.
Matt's not a biologist.
Yeah, I'm not.
I know you're not.
She's a birthing person.
Birthing
correct term.
She's a pregnant person.
Well, it's not. The baby's not alive yet, so it's not alive. It hasn't breathed air. So until it does, it's not a thing. It's just a clump of cells.
Until it's registered Democrat, it's not a human right.
Till it can vote.
God bless him. Well, if you want to hear more fun jokes like that, please consider joining our Patreon for as little as $1 a month. You get to hear classic episodes of the After Hours podcast, which we're going to record right after this. And if you don't feel comfortable using Patreon, there's other ways to donate to the show. If you go to prlfans.com, please, we have t-shirts for sale over at libertariancountry.com. If you use the code PRL Podcast, you get yourself a 10% discount. And you don't even have to buy our shirts, just use our discount. But buy our shirt too as well, because
you don't buy our shirts, you're a communist.
Oh yeah, yes, this is true. So if
you love Jesus, you will buy punk rock libertarian shirts.
Yes.
And also if you don't.
We'll be selling them at the Reno Reset. They'll be available there.
He's a Jew. Okay. Okay. So he doesn't love
Jesus was a Jew, right?
Oh, I've got a rumor to spread After Hours.
Oh,
nice.
Oh, the Russian
you guys
bot.
You better get on there right now.
Pay $1.
So you can hear this episode when I finally post it, like in 5 days.
This is true. And so use the code PRL2 for a 20% discount if you spend $50 or more, which I know you will, because they got lots of cool new shirts and other stuff that you can buy too as well. And tonight we're brought to you by Hidden in Plain Sight by Immoral Bob. And we also have, for all your CBD needs, go to wheeliespharmacy.com and use the code PRL Podcast for a 10% discount. And until next time, live free
or die.